Welcome in, everybody. We're just here on Sunday, being free and being real. We're talking about how we can remember the wisdom for healing the self and healing the community, and how we are all joined together to be doing this through our practice of yoga and movement, and how we've incorporated a nutrition practice similar to Ayurveda into the way that we address our self healing and our self care and what that's done for us, not only as far as our physical well being, our mental well being, but as practitioners, being able to incorporate this into our yoga communities and studios as instructors and practitioners. It's just a fulfilling way to expand what you do and expand what you offer to the world in a conscious commerce. So I'm happy to welcome Allison Jade and Kevin Wooji and Isabel Wool. And I think we're going to have a great conversation. We're just going to dig right in. As I said, with the connection between Ayurveda and yoga, in ancient times, they sourced foods that they could feel in their body and that they could witness in their families and their community had healing properties. You can really tell when somebody consumes a food, you can see, kind of feel energetically what that does. We also watched animals consume foods and we learned a lot that way. Um, so we have all these ancient wisdoms in India, it's Ayurveda. In Egypt, even through Kemet, there were foods like we have it in our Kamut blend, these ancient grains and things and grasses that are so powerful and healing. And so we have a lot to share with you about what we offer through a superfood company called Purium. And Purium just ties right in with a lot of these ancient ways. Maybe we can go around one time and we can each just share our favorite superfood. I definitely have really been loving the beets. I have my can't beat my beat it shirt on today, but the can't beat this has been amazing. And beet juice is really, really good for a movement practice. Of course, scientifically now we're able to show that, but in ancient times they already knew. It's amazing. Allison, do you have a favorite that you like to use?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, the greens and everything, but I want to say, because I do hot yoga, I would say like the greens are just life. I mean, that's a baseline. We should all be having a green juice every day for the alkalinity, and the energy. But for hot yoga that I practice, it's a total game changer to have my cocoa hydrate after class. Most people are buying things like Gatorade and those emergency packages. And it drives me crazy. I want them to be eating whole food, organic food. So yeah, passionate about getting that into yoga studios.
Yes, absolutely. I like to sometimes mix my beets with the cocoa hydrate too. Kevin, do you have a favorite for when you're doing a movement practice?
This question is always so hard for me to answer because there's so many products that I love so much. But of course, the power shake is I need to have at least two a day. And I love to mix it with the can't beat this also. I think the flavors just mix perfectly well. And I just love those two products. But yeah, again, I love so many other products, but I think these two are I need them every day.
Absolutely. And how many people, can drink in our power shake, our appleberry power shake? You can get 6 superfood salads worth of nutrition in one shake. And when you have that kind of sustenance in your body and you go to move, you're able to access the functions of your body in a totally different way. I know we all have that experience. Isabel, what is your favorite?
I'm like Allison, all the greens, all the greens. I will mix all the greens, the green spectrum, the more greens, the Kemet blend, the barley green, the power shake, even sometimes not the power shake, just all the greens plus carrot juice plus and the rice bran solubles. All the greens. I love greens. And I also really love super aminos. I know Allison does too. The super aminos I cannot go without. And everything else, like everyone else, when you try something, you just fall in love because just like you said, it's the reason we access all of this power within is because we're not digesting food. We're just using the energy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The aminos, I was just posting earlier today about, and somebody responded right away, oh, can I get some of that? Because, you can sustain yourself protein wise off of these shakes and the aminos. You get as much protein as you need, and it's all clean, vegan, organic, non-GMO sourced, and grown in regenerative soil, guys. The stuff that the food that we have access to, okay, really ties into our practice of yoga in a different way, with the practice of compassion and how we're treating the earth and how we're treating the foods that the earth gives to us and how we're treating our bodies. And that compassion cultivates out into our families, into our communities. And so I would like for each of us to speak a little bit to the way that we see Purium having that practice and that connection to the philosophies of yoga, and as a practice that reaches out and extends into our entire life and our soul's fulfillment here on the earth. For me, a big part of it is the way that they teach us how to care for the people that we work with. We're not just selling them a product. We are helping them access self-wellness. They're using these foods to address, we know so much now about how different foods can address the different systems in our body. And so we're able to be educated about that so that we can better help the people that we work with, in all aspects. The conscious aspect of that in this community is so powerful. And it's the same feeling that I get when I go to a yoga studio. People are loving each other, caring for each other, and just wanting to see each other thrive. So for me, that's kind of the root of it, Allison, would you like to share?
Well, yeah, I mean, food is energy, and what we're working with in yoga is energy, and it's like cultivating our prana, and this food is like life force energy, ancient wisdom from the earth, and it absolutely ties in. It's all holistic. People who are going to yoga are on a healing journey. They're, getting connected with themselves. And it's so important that we talk about, the lifestyle off the mat too, because yoga is a lifestyle, much like this food is a lifestyle. It all goes together, and we need all the aspects of it. We need the meditation, we need our yoga practice, we need our, muscle building, we need our food that we're eating, and, all of the other things. So it's really vital. My yoga practice was only going so far before I started to address what I was eating, how I was taking care of myself off the mat, so I think that just needs to be the conversation. And like you said, yoga is a community. We go there for a community. And I think it's important that, people are looking for education outside of like what they can do in their life.
Absolutely. And for sure, my experience is that when I do go to a doctor, I don't really go to doctors anymore. So I go like once a year just to have my blood tests run to see all of my levels and everything. But when you go to the doctor and you have something going on, they are not educated to show you about nutrition, and they're not educated to show you about that support. And that is not necessarily their fault. They care about you, but they're just teaching you the things that they're educated on. And so for us to be able to provide that on the back end, this preventative way, is extremely important service to our communities. So absolutely, the off the mat. And I see a lot of people teach about Ayurveda. Lots of yoga studios will have workshops on Ayurveda, which is wonderful. But there's some aspects of what we do that dig a little bit deeper, because we're not living in the same world today as the world that they lived in when they were just using those pure foods as medicine. We live in a toxic environment. We live in a chemical environment. And so we bring the aspects of cleansing and detoxifying into that practice in a very gentle way. And so absolutely. And yes, I would love to just and I've done some stuff at studios. We'll get into that later, but to be able to really help people understand that there's a deeper place we can go. There's some deeper roots with this kind of self-care. Kevin, how about you? What aspect of Purium do you feel like really hits home for you when it comes to this?
I mean, it's all about sharing, it's all about sharing a lifestyle that is just so good for your soul, so good for your community, for your health. um, it's all about building a practice and cultivating good habits in your life that will make you feel better in the end. I think it's just works so perfectly hand in hand, Purium and yoga. So yeah, it's about cultivating self-love and sharing that love also.
The most powerful energy on the earth is love. Absolutely. Isabel, how about you?
Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about the first yama, ahimsa, like non-violence. So there's no violence used in Purium's growing their food and distributing the food and packaging the food. Everything is like, I cannot not talk about when I share about Purium, I cannot not talk about the fact that everything is, there's a social mission and there's an ecological mission with the company, that so that the earth will, I have French in my head right now, will non seulement be saved, like we'll have the lowest food and footprint on the planet. And I know Dave wants it to be positive, and so that will mean that we'll make a difference positively instead of leaving a trace. And that and the Million Mom movement, helping family eat better, live in wealth and health, and the foods themselves. Yeah.
Yes, like what more could we want, right? Our families
Yeah.
thriving, our wellness thriving, and that you touched on as well, the carbon footprint. Dave Sandoval and Amy Venner, they have really put a focus on not only the compostable packaging, which eliminates all the plastic waste. They have a nonprofit called a Plastic Free Alliance, and you can find that online just by searching that, if somebody could put it in the comments, where they're also helping other companies go compostable. Not only that, but they are having regenerative soil practices. So we have about 60 years of topsoil left for the earth to be growing in if we keep on at the same rate that we're going. And they are creating the pathway and setting the example of how we can grow our foods while regenerating the soil so that we are not losing our topsoil anymore. It's absolutely possible. And it produces foods that are up to 200 times more potent than what you're getting in your organic carrots at the grocery store if they are not grown in regenerative soil. So there's a difference between the foods grown in regenerative soil and the foods, even organic, that are grown in dead soil.
And monocultural. And also the profits are used to finance farmers, so they won't be they won't get buy, or anyway, I don't know how to buy Monsanto, like they will be able to turn their soil around and become regenerative. That's what Purium does on this planet.
It's so amazing. And it's what we all want. It's like the dream that we've all dreamed collectively, right? Is how do we get out of this situation that we've put ourselves into? And how do we move to a new place? And Purium has paved that road. And in fact, they've unpaved the road and they have like recreated like the dirt. So just so proud to be a part of it in that way. And I think that any yogi and any studio owner who is in that compassionate way of living can understand this and can connect with this. And I think the conscious commerce of how this company provides financial abundance for the people that join arms with them, that hold hands with them on this mission, they care for you as a partner in the same way that they care for the soil, the same way that they care for the earth, the same way that they care for the people that are consuming their foods. And so what we're really here to talk about next is how can we take this partnership with Purium and help studios and help instructors and help people that are interested in nutrition create some financial abundance for themselves by offering this through their space and to their people. So for me, I've been a dancer my entire life. I've been a dance instructor for a very long time. I got my degree in dance. And as a teacher of dance or yoga or any movement practice, you find that the income that you make is not typically enough to meet your cost of living. And if it is, you're teaching so many classes every week and every day that your body is moving out of homeostasis because you're not caring for yourself anymore. And this balance is a really important balance for studio owners to create for their instructors and for themselves. The burnout is real. And when you have a studio space where everybody is cared for physically, mentally, and financially, that ripples out into your community. And it's very easy to partner with Purium. And so I'd like for us to each share a way that it's been easy for us to incorporate this into our life as a stream of income. For me, I'm a single mom. I have 2 boys that are just recently no longer teenagers, but they still live with me. And I've worked 4 to 5 jobs since I can remember. I ran my own business for years. I was a teacher in the public schools for 10 years. I've done all kinds of things. But even in working 2 or 3 jobs, I was able to incorporate this brand partnership by slowly educating myself and witnessing and watching how it was done. That free education, by the way, is priceless. Whether you're a brand partner or not, what you learn about food and nutrition through this company is unmatched. But I've just learned a little bit and a little bit at a time. And after a year and a half, I'm already able to pay for my own foods and have extra stream of income. And while I'm going back to school right now, this is really a blessing and something that I know when I'm done with school, I'm going to be able to offer more full force. So, just to settle that aspect, it is really go at your own pace. You can watch replays. You don't have to be there by a deadline time. So you can really organize your time around your learning and getting started the way that you need to. Allison?
I have so much to say about this, but yeah, when I started this, I was a yoga teacher too, part-time. I was, dealing with my own also mental health issues, anxiety and stuff. And I remember just like, I had no time to even practice because I was just trying to fit in as many teaching that I could fit into my schedule. And it was actually stress, like it became kind of a source of stress for me, actually, just like even my career as a yoga teacher, and which is so counterintuitive. But, a lot of yoga teachers are struggling to financially, and they don't even have time to practice themselves. And it was really easy for me to incorporate this because I was, once you start feeling so good and it deepens your practice, and it really for me, for the mental health stuff, it really took me to another level that I just didn't even know was possible to feel that good. And, it's easy when something works, and when you have a heart that wants to help, it's a no-brainer. So, and, yoga, there's like the Buddhist philosophy that's, leave every room more beautiful, or leave the earth more beautiful than when you entered. And that's really also just the basis of this whole thing. It's just like, we are, here to just make the world a better place. And I just want to help as many people. And through yoga, I was able to help people only to a certain limit, and now I'm able to really help people and get financially compensated for it, because I was giving all this free advice before. As a yoga teacher, I was sharing about what to eat. I was, sharing about these things anyways, and I'm actually able to give a gift, which I just love to incorporate. When I'm not teaching as much anymore, I'm practicing myself now. I'm actually going to another teacher training in October because I'm going into a deeper level, but it's just so nice to, get to really enjoy yoga and use it and help people and really be able to help more people. And now my mission is to help yoga teachers, because I really do see that that's just the missing piece for just, you know, on so many levels, but financially, absolutely. It's like, this is the social sharing economy. It lends itself perfectly to yoga teachers. And yeah, it's been really easy and fun to get to share this.
Yeah, because it really, the community is so similar to a yoga community because everybody's compassion and love and caring. And I want to touch a little bit because we just only have a little bit of time left. But as far as mental wellness goes, and I do want to speak to this, and I ask that if you're here and you're a yoga instructor or you're a studio owner or a practitioner, that you really open your heart and your mind to this aspect. Because when it comes to mental wellness, we unfortunately live in a world where we are, you know, taught just through influence that if you are eating organic and you're shopping organic at the stores and you're practicing yoga, you're doing all the things that you need to do to address, you know, holistic wellness. You're getting massages, you might be getting acupuncture, and all of those things you should absolutely continue. But what we're not being told about a lot of our foods is that, you know, the organic foods, like I said earlier, in the dead soil, it doesn't have the nutrient density. So you would have to eat a whole lot more of those foods to get the nutrient density that you should be getting. And if you're not healing your gut microbiome, you're not getting those good nutrients that you're eating anyways, because we have toxic chemicals in the air, in the water, in the soil. They're everywhere. And it is causing leaky gut, and it's keeping us from taking those nutrients in. So even if you're doing the yoga and the meditation and getting the massages and doing the acupuncture and eating the organic foods, your body, it's not bioavailable to you because it's pushing out of your body. You're not getting a very high percentage of those nutrients when you eat them because the walls of your gut are compromised by this chemical state. So by doing the detoxing and the cleansing, you're able to then receive that organic food and take in the nutrients. I just wanted to touch on that real quick because my mental health also, because I was doing a lot of the things. I was drinking the smoothies. I was working in a juice bar when I was 18 years old. You know, I have been around this way of organic foods and healthy living for a long time. But as we said, the world has changed. So yes, that aspect of what we're able to offer is what kind of brings us beyond what Ayurveda has done in the place where the world was at that time. Kevin, I know that you are not an instructor of yoga, but you're obviously an amazing practitioner of yoga. And I know that you work out in gyms and things. How easy has it been for you to incorporate this brand partnership into your lifestyle?
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing about mental health, because I was in a rough place when I started Purium, and it completely changed my whole entire life. So I'm so, so, so grateful for that. Just everything changed. It's like I'm a completely different person, and I wish that for everybody, because I know how it feels to be depressed and sad and purposeless. So if you feel lost or anything, please introduce this amazing nutrition in your life. It's going to change so much. You don't even understand. It's amazing. And yeah, I'm not a practitioner, but I've been doing yoga for a while now. I actually practiced with Allison a few times at hot yoga. I kind of miss it, honestly. It was fun. We should go back.
I love
But
that.
yeah, but yeah,
Speaking
it's
of going back, I just wanted to touch on something that you said, because I actually, there was a period of time where I stopped doing yoga because I was getting into like a hard place with my mental health. And I stepped away from my movement practice because it was like, what, you know, oh, I'm still not feeling really good. Like I'm doing these things and I didn't understand what was going on, you know, and we really can get all the benefits from the yoga when we have a full picture of all the things that we can do. And stepping back into our practice, no matter what it is just so enhanced when we're having these foods. I mean, you guys, when you try these foods and you take it in your body, it's just amazing. Isabel, would you like to share what's been easy for you? I know that you are a yoga instructor. Is that correct?
Yes. Well, yes, I am a yoga instructor, but I'm practicing yoga since I was 16. I'll be 45, so do the math. It's been a long time. And I used to work for the government in youth protection here in the province of Quebec, and it was a hard job. When you work for the big machine, it's not very easy. And so I was like Allison, very depressed, and Kevin also, you didn't feel really good. It was before Purium, but I had to leave that job. I got sick with Crohn's. My mental health was horrible, and my physical health was horrible, and my spiritual health was horrible. I was still going to the math, but faith wasn't there anymore. I was in pain, a lot of pain and suffering. So, but I never stopped doing yoga. It was the only thing that worked for me to give me a little sense of, I would say, serenity, but it was a little bit of serenity. But it was the only thing, because I was also a raging alcoholic at the time, and alcohol would do the trick, but yoga did. So I quit my job and I went and I did the teacher training. And then, because I quit my job, I had to teach 9 to 10 classes to make a living, and it was like not a lot. And because some weeks it was 9 to 10, and some other weeks I would work in the office of the studio where I used to work. So answering emails and putting stuff in envelopes and sending that to people who were buying stuff from the owners. Anyway, it wasn't very fulfilling, but it was okay. But the 9 to 10 classes, it was like I was burnt out and still sick with Crohn's. So I did something else and I created my own job. So now I help people in recovery, and I have my private practice. And then Purium came in the equation. And right now, 3 years later, I make the same income I used to make when I used to work for the government. And I used to work like 60 hours a week, 50 to 60, not 10 to 15 hours a week. So I didn't do that at the beginning, but 3 years later, I can say I have the same income as I used to have for the government. And I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore in my private practice. I don't want to, and I don't have to. I have an online program for my clients. I meet them once a week in a coaching call. So I'm rich in time. I have the money I need for now, and I know it's just the beginning, because I want to help so much more people. And the beauty of this business is you can succeed as long as you help people. Like what you'll get will be the reflection of how many people you helped.
Oh, so beautiful. I love every aspect of what you're doing. Definitely helping people in recovery is so possible. Also using these foods, which is a whole other topic. And I would love to have you back on actually about that. But I just really want to thank everybody. We're going to let everybody go. I want to respect everyone's time. I'm just blown away every time. Like, I've gotten everything out of this experience with this career path through this company that I ever wished to have through my yoga practice and my teaching and everything. So thank you guys all for welcoming me in to this partnership and for all being here together on this mission. And if you would like to join us on this mission and you feel like this is a way that you would like to enhance your life and the lives of those around you, I encourage you to reach out to whoever shared this video with you. We would love to share more. We have lots of videos to share with you. So reach out to whoever did, and everybody just have a blessed, wonderful, beautiful Sunday, and we'll see you next time.